Yeah, Nottingham, that's the one. Sheffield and Chesterfield. Items.
I'm on to bed.
Susan's on to bed, you need to get to bed.
Past 11? Past 11. 25.
No, you're still on German time.
That guy falls, I lose. Oh dear.
Game.
How long have you been working on this?
I had a big gap in it. About a year, I guess.
That was the kitchen stuff.
Yeah, I got some acrylic coming to make a marquee screen. Connector between the screen and the top of this console. A few little USB inputs. I've got shitloads of tweaking to do. It's actually a bit of a pain in the moment.
Okay, yeah, Windows.
Got my Windows games. Because this controls that I was telling you the other day, like it outputs to a keyboard and then into a virtual joystick and then into a emulated Xbox pad. Then you've got to fiddle with each game until it starts working.
A lot of trial and error. King of Fighters and what was the other one?
Samurai Showdown. In fact, what I was looking for though was this one.
Did you get it in the cassette tape?
No, this was floppy disk on the Amiga. Okay, sorry. For some reason you've got to press that to start.
Teletubby Mario Kart.
One to the right down the bottom there.
Ah.
You just spoke for justice.
It's full of lots of justice.
I
Profile.
suppose I've missed the moment.
Yeah.
I've really missed the moment.
Yeah, I figured out that your accent, it's not exactly the northern accent, it's a mixed.
My Isle of Wight accent, it actually amplified. All these people around me have their own kind of identity.
And even in Milan, people ask me, where do you come from?
5 is enough to establish an accent.
I think you should start learning other languages really early. Your mouth is still quite soft.
But I say it with a very northern accent though. I've lost the inflection.
Poor.
So they don't have anything to say.
Not poor in terms of production
No,
values.
no. Yeah, in terms of content.
So what it's making me think of is I really enjoy reading diaries. Again, it's like a first-hand documentary of what's going on in the time from one person's perspective, obviously. Because one of the things about autobiographies is people do tend to make themselves. Well, I assume they do because I feel it in myself. This desire to destroy anything bad about myself and present something, not like lying, but to literally change myself.
The conductor in the dark. Well, in Italy, I would say grey eminence.
Grey eminence. That's spooky. That's like the spirit that's controlling everything.
Yes, that's
Like a puppet master.
Yes, yeah.
Sort of fear of being infected by disease and fear of immigration.
Media, new media at the time.
I wonder if that's your bias because
It is my bias completely.
in the book, Dracula is inhibited by how slowly he can travel, and they race against him by communicating by telegram. The fact that Mina Harker knows how to use the technology and she knows the train timetables, and that kind of offsets this modern rapid transport and communication against this old-fashioned poisonous ideas. Suspicion tends to fall first on the stranger.
But this is his power because he is underestimated, so he can work better.
Retrospectively applying sounds to say, although I was saying this,
Yeah.
good way of conveying stuff.
Although it's like in an abstract way, I'm like, okay, this sound, this composition, and this montage just explains pages and pages of like verbiage. I was thinking as well, like there's like this veneer and performance of being brave, because in my imagination I kept on thinking to myself that I've got a pistol, I'm fine. It was completely vulnerable, and I had like kind of no kind of backup plans or anything like that. When you speak to them one on one, they're completely different, but when they're amongst the gang, they've got to perform this. They feel like they've got to boast.
Of this beautiful talking, did I miss a lot?
Yeah,
in London.
I missed it too.
And it's so hectic. I don't know.
Well, I don't think it's just London. I think it's because of...
Hear the sound of my feet.
She said three.
Because I want to work.
Ritornello, can say.
Ritornello.
Yeah.
So would you think of a chorus as being a group of people?
Trifle.
Okay.
And we call it zuppa inglese. A layer of gelato.
That sounds like a much better interpretation of trifle.
Take care.
See you next time.
Alright.
Nice.
It's fine.
Cheers. You got
Thank you.
anything?
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Cosmopolitan sort of areas and polis, but you're still operating and going through all the civilized sort of flows. The dissonance, that's kind of like underlying.
One person's the human, and when you kill the human, you take their place. So you're like switching in and out. Who's the target?
That's kind of the immediate reaction everyone used to have, was like, why don't
Yeah,
we just
yeah,
play the
sure.
game? Why watch the...
You get like, I don't know, 60-70% of the enjoyment from just watching.
Get a little bit of the social aspect.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Oh god.
Like you just used to sit
With
around
your
and watch a
mates.
mate play
Yeah.
a game or something. You ever watch this guy? It's pretty hot. I like this guy as well.
Does he come across though as like someone who works in software?
Yeah,
The way he's
and-
thinking and doing the problem solving.
For sure.
Feels it'd be more like brute force thinking.
Yeah, I guess tools to make tools is kind of software.
I think there's a moment where you see like a doppelganger of herself. Oh, that's another model of that same cyborg, just with a different person. And then there's like shots of mannequins after that in the shop windows, where she's always been playing like an avatar.
For your personal safety and security, this station is currently being monitored.
So I'll just sort of head over your way and force you to stop running.
The CCTV footage is being recorded. Manchester Capital.
Torrington Centre, witnessed and Liverpool Line Street.
Hello?
Hi! Cool man. I think it's frozen. Well, my side's frozen. It's just, yeah. So, no. Yeah, it's very glitchy.
Hello?
Hi! Okay, cool. I'm just gonna take notes as well. Because I think there's a... Yeah, but I don't know if that's affecting it.
Or big electric storm. I miss them.
Yeah.
And kind of explore all these kind of different aspects of the vlogging vocabulary. That there's like an active synthesis of kind of memory, break out of repetition and seriality, where almost like a language breaks down and it kind of cascades in on itself. Exploring the footage that I have in some sort of CGI animation, perhaps. So these are the kind of like loose skeleton for this is going to be like vlogging. So I'm going to say that will be my apparatus of capture, or the vitrine that I'd like to put these kind of like little experiments in.
Okay, that's really cool. I like that.
As well as
that's
like the
interesting.
YouTube one, and like because I've constructed like a brand new.
I wonder how I could translate my accent.
Mine's got worse since I've been back because I've been mixing with more northerners. So it's getting stronger, and I swear a lot more now. So
that's funny. Yeah, it's interesting, this idea of like machine learning. I mean, that's not quite machine learning, but it's like the idea that the machine can understand you.
Yeah.
And it can translate and it can know you. And I think like the machines have knowledge of who you are. That's quite interesting. I really like that. And I think that's something that I'm also looking at in my work to a certain extent. Like this idea of like your phone or this machine that you carry everywhere with you has so much information about who you are, who you're friends with, who you're in love with, like relationships that are ended, your tastes, your dislikes, and it's like all contained within this one entity.
My lack of sort of social media usage, and with that footprint, there's still a very clear psychological profile that can be made out of that person from their negation and absence from participating.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily for me, but like with other, it's almost like they want to hermetically kind of like close their ego off because they feel it's a little too kind of precious to kind of be infected by kind of perhaps cognitive noise from social media.
That's quite interesting. Hey.
Yeah, which isn't as painful as like sort of CGI or animation. But as I was researching loads of vlogs, it really kind of hit me like kind of like this sort of representation of self, almost like kind of this languages of like authenticity. So it kind of borrows a bit from like kind of documentary filmmaking and things like that. But then, yeah, it just kind of feels like through like this kind of production of like their kind of subjectivity, it kind of, as soon as it gets uploaded or represented or played, it breaks down. And I don't entirely know what I mean by that saying, so I suppose this is why I'm trying to figure and play around with this, so maybe I can articulate my thoughts more.
Yeah, I've watched a few sort of performance artists who, I mean, they're not quite vlogs, but they play with, I mean, they are vloggers, I suppose, but they're not like this sort of, it is personal, but it's, they're like not selling their personality or brand. It's more about like playing with the aesthetic and making work through that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a generational thing, because a lot of my students watch a lot of vloggers as like inspirational sort of fashion, makeup. There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
That they watch and they subscribe to and will watch religiously. Are you planning to write while like because you speak so well and you're very articulate about your ideas and about your concepts around sort of the broader residency or project, but maybe what would be quite interesting is if you wrote a text to accompany each one or something like that.
Okay, like a commentary on each one.
Yeah. Or I don't know if that's something you want to do, if you want to give it all away. So you can get like stuck for like 20 minutes before you go to bed. Just like being bombarded by like the daily crap that people do. And it's fascinating. I don't know what it is.
And that just feels to me like intuitively, I'm trying to just kind of call it hyper ghost modernity. And
again, I can't articulate that title, but that just seems very fitting. Not having so much of a digital footprint, it will disappear after like so long.
And I think that transient nature of an experience is also what's really nice. So instead of having this archive which is accessible at all times, you have a temporary experience which you can share. They're also more intimate.
Yeah.
They're not as staged.
Yeah.
But like it was the whole body, and it was just the face that was still that you could see. Whereas like normally they just add stuff. Now it was like the whole body, which is quite interesting for you if you're looking at like the digital body.
Yeah.
As well.
Now I have to sign in with my face, and it's a depth camera that reads it. It's kind of like you're kind of creating like a weird commodified depth mask.